3rd of March, Rabbi Furst, Pierke, Avos, Esther.
Okay. Fine. Okay. Okay. Very good. Okay, let's continue on to the next pasuk. Okay, we see that there's a machlokas on that, what that's referring to. Okay, good. That'll it needs
Okay.
a little bit more work, but you have the basic machlokas there. Okay, continue on, man.
Okay, so Kaf Aleph. Vayitav hadavar be'enei hamelech v'sarim vayas hamelech kidvar mimuchan. Okay, so let's see. This thing, I guess, was good in the eyes of the king and the ministers, Asarim. Yes, and the Melech, the king did according to the word of Mimuchan.
Right, he was the one. He was the main spokesman here. You know, he was the main advocate for Vashti's demise.
Right.
Right, and as we know, that's the Gemara learns that was Haman, right? So you see, Haman unknowingly, right, because Esther was going to be now the replacement of Vashti, which led to the fact that Esther was able to bring Haman to the Mishnah, so that led to the eventual demise of Haman. So you see, he's actually contributing to his own demise.
Huh.
Okay, 1 second. Um, okay, let's continue on.
Funny, the name Mimuchan has Muchan in it, which means preparation, I guess,
Right, exactly.
preparing for the events to come.
Right, that's right.
Okay, so Kaf Bet says Vayishlach Sfarim El Kol Midinot Hamelech El Medina Umedina Kitava Ve'el Am Va'am Klishono Lehiyot Kol Ish Soreir Beveito Umidaber Klishon Amo. Okay, so and they sent Sfarim, literally books, but they translated here letters to all the king's provinces. To each province, a written, I guess, kitab, like it was written, I guess, in script. I guess
Right.
possibly in the script of the kingdom, maybe.
Well, I think it was,
Or else how would they know what it is? Or
I
how,
mean, each one individually, right? Of English on, right? Each one.
yeah, I don't know. I have to read the commentary, but that's what my
So we'll
guess
see.
would be.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll look at the commentary in a minute, right?
Because it is possessive. It has that dot in the hay. So,
Correct, right.
okay, so Ve'el each people. Oh yeah, right here. The Kalashon in the language of the people. Wow. Okay. Lihiot, to effect that all the men should rule his household. Oh, and speak. And yeah, and here it supports it, and speak the language of his own people. Wow,
Right. Right.
that's some statement.
Right. Right. And as Rashi says, "Umedaber keloshen imoy," and meaning that Rashi says that the husband has the right to force the wife to learn his language
Oh,
if she comes from a different country, and the Baal has the legal right that she should now learn and speak to him in the language of his country.
wow.
Don't forget that this was taking place 3 years after Ahasuerus took rule, and this was the time the ostensibly the first feast of 180 days was in celebration of the consolidation of his kingdom from Hodu al Kush, basically representing he was controlling the whole of the known world at the time, right? So this is an edict, a royal edict, which is coming up because now that the whole world is under his control, under his rule, right? So you might have therefore people intermarrying from one Medina to another Medina, from one country to another country, from one kingdom to another kingdom. So you're gonna have a lot of intermarriages, right? So
Right.
part of the unification of his kingdom is that the family unit should speak one language, and that language is going to be fixed according to the language of the husband. So that's something which is very relevant to the establishment and consolidation of his kingdom and for the stability of his kingdom. Kings classically want stability in their kingdom. They're not interested in unrest and dissent and dispute because it ruins the economy. And then if if the economy gets ruined, they're not going to get their tribute. And that's one of the most important things that a king wants. He wants his tribute. And if there's gonna be difficulties in the economy, that's going to reduce the amount of tribute he gets. So he's interested in making sure that the family unit is a stable unit ruled by one person with one language throughout the whole family unit. Okay. Let's look at our document here. Let's see. Let's see. Cuff base, right? Cuff base at the left toward the bottom of it.
Okay, so it says, yeah, I have to read it from the screen. I don't seem to have mine. Vayishlach Sfarim el kol medina umedina liyot kol ish shoreh beveito. Okay, so he sent out the scripts to each province so that saying that the man should rule his household. Let's see, Amoraba, Alema, or Alma, no, Amala, Egrot, Harishonot, Lo Nishtayer, Mishun Haim, Shel Yisrael, Sarid, Ufalit.
Right. It says here that it wasn't for these first letters, the first decree that went out. His first decree went out. It wasn't for this first decree that went out, it would have been uh, very difficult for the Jews. Um, because now with these first letters going out, this established Akashverosh in the eyes of the people.
Oh, okay. So Ella, Kevan sheshalach lahem liot kol ish soreh beveito.
Wow. So what is this? Go ahead, Mayor.
Okay, so what he sent, since he sent to them that each man should be the ruler in his household or rule his household. Okay. Amru Peshita. Let's see. Afilu Korcha Bubeta Pardishicha Lehoi. So what's that? Amru. So what they said, Peshita, that just even?
It says Amru Pshita Filu Karcha Bebese Par Dachsha Lahavi. I mean, I the people said about this the fact that the edict is going out in terms of a seemingly reinforcement of the husband's rule in his house. Amru, that's plural, right? Amru. They
Right.
said, who is the they saying? That I think the common people. The common people were commenting about this decree. They pshita, right? Uh, this is obvious. I mean, it's obvious that afilu karcha bebese padakadahavi, meaning even the most simple person, even the most simple husband in his own house, he's a noble. He's a noble. He's a ruler. So
Hmm.
it seems to be reinforcing something which everybody knows and realizes. Um, so there was certain questions they had about the reason for this edict. Right.
Okay, going on then. Kevan Sheba'u Igrot Haman Birishyon Hamelech Lahashmid Labed Lo Hashashu Alehem Kolkach. So what, since the letters of Haman came, what's Birishyon Hamelech? What under the
with
orders
the
authority
authority of the king.
of the king? Okay, uh, to wipe out and destroy Lo Hashashu.
Aleim kol kach. They weren't concerned about it so much.
Oh, that's interesting. You mean it's saying that the people weren't so concerned about it?
Right. The people were they felt that this first set of letters, this first edict that came out, they felt it was a bit unnecessary. Right. This
Oh,
really was saying making an edict about something which was um, commonly accepted anyway. So since
uh-huh.
it sort of lowered the esteem of Ahasuerus in the eyes of the people, so therefore when the second letters came out, the second edict was issued against the Jews, they didn't take it so seriously 100%.
Oh. Hmm.
Okay. Uh that's what it meant. That's the first statement is Amarava. You see over there the first line on this Chav Beis Amarava Ilame Gigris Rishonos Lo Nishtar Shunesem Shel Yisrael Shrit Pleita. If it wasn't for the fact that these first letters, the first edict that went out, was taken a bit askance by even by the common people, it would have been very difficult for the Jews, because they would have,
Right.
if they had taken the second edict seriously, it would have been much greater difficulty in the Jews overcoming the enemies. So then apparently what happened was the only those diehards, those Amalekim, they took the second edict very seriously, because it was very well in keeping with their ideas of what to do with the Jews. But the common people weren't so interested, because it seemed that he already lost some type of his credibility in the eyes of the people because of this first edict, because it was seemingly unnecessary. What do you have to say? Why do you have to make an edict that the husband shall rule in his house? I mean, everyone knows that the husband rules in his house. So that seems to be a very superfluous edict to make. So if it's coming out such an edict that they cast dispersion on the wisdom of the king Achashverosh. So when the second edict came out, they also doubted that. It was something which was somewhat strange. Where all of a
Right.
sudden you get up and they made a decree that you can make war on someone, make battle on somebody. Very strange edict. So he didn't. So a lot of people apparently didn't take that second edict seriously, which was really to the benefit of Claudius. Otherwise they would have a lot more enemies to fight on the battle of Yud Daled and the battle of Yud Tesvav.
Uh-huh.
Okay, very good. Let's go. That's, I think, the end of the first parak, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, it is.
Okay, so I'll tell you what. Let's go to the next chapter.
Okay, Parak Bet. It says, Achar hadvarim ha'ele kishoch chamat hamelech Achashverosh zachar et Vashti ve'et asher asata ve'et asher nigzar aleha. Okay, so after, I guess, these events, let's see, when the anger of King Achashverosh subsided, Zachar, he remembered Vashti and what she did, V'et asher nigzar, and what he decreed against her.
So this is very, very common, right? That as with most people, when they get angry, they do and say things that are rash, right? And when they come out of their anger, they realize and regret what they've done, right?
Right.
This is a very normal thing. And actually, that's what they were afraid of. If you remember, right? If you remember, when Achashverosh asked for the enlisted the aid of the wise men, so he called first upon the wise men of Klal Yisrael what to do with this situation. If you remember, let's review that maybe. Um,
And also,
um, Yeah. If you look on the page, toward the top of the page number 3, or it's on your um top of page 3, right over in your dollar. You see where it is, where the cursor is on the screen?
Yes.
They were afraid of this. When we read what it says over here, with Karabilov, they wanted to get them close. He wanted those who were close to him to give him advice what to do.
Okay, so give him advice. What's Olive Zion? A's? Ions, Zion.
That's I think that's a reference to maybe it's a puzzle. Maybe that's
Avodah Zarah, maybe?
I don't know, maybe the previous pasuk in Divrei Yamim. I'm not
Okay.
sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it says, Amru Chazal, Kevan Shebikesh Achashverosh Min Hachmei Yisrael, Amru Hechi Na'avid.
Well, how should we behave? What are we supposed to do? The Achashverosh was called in after he realized that he's in a pickle now because Vashti's refusing to come, and he's very angry. So he needed to have the advice of those who were capable of advising him what to do with Vashti. So first of all, he called upon the Jewish councils. So what did they say? They're asking themselves, "Hey, Kinabid, what should we do? How do we respond?" They're in a paradox. What's the paradox? What's the catch-22? They're in a catch-22.
Inemale Ketala, Lamachar, Atachle, Hamra, Midachar, Lan, Uvaele, Minan.
What should we do tomorrow? Right, Macha Pasach le Chamra, the wine was going to wear off of him. Right now, the king is drunk, right, and he's angry, and he's also angry. So he wants us to make a decision. But tomorrow, the wine's going to wear off, right?
Mm-hmm.
Madkilan, Boile Mine, he's going to remember us, and he's going to ask from us. Yeah, so they were concerned. Then that's exactly that. Okay, that's good enough. That brings us to our pasuk now. That brings us to our first pasuk in the second chapter, right? He remembered Vashti. Resasa, right? He remembered Vashti now. Oh yes.
Okay, so okay, Inami le Baka. Okay, Ka Mizalzilna. Oh, okay, B'machuta, Mutab Lis Loke Nafshin Mina. Amrulo Miyom Sheharav. Acharav, I'm sorry. Miyom Shecharav Beit Hamikdash Galino Me'artzenu. Maybe we should stop there.
Yes, please. Yeah.
Okay.
So they had to figure out how to respond to Hagazmerish. So they came to the conclusion, Mutav Silak Lashen, it's better that we withdraw from this situation. Let's try and get out of the situation here. Right?
Right.
So they said to him, Amr lo miyam shechar beis hamikdash galino me'artzenu, from the day that the Beis Hamikdash was destroyed and we were exiled from our land, not the Eitzim, counsel has been taken away from us. Right? So we are not able to give you Eitzah. We don't have the capabilities of giving advice like we used to.
Oh, wow.
Right. Okay, that's good enough. That's I just wanted to reinforce that point, which we learned already previously, to show exactly what the second pasuk. If we go now back to the second pasuk, all right, now go back to the second pasuk, and you'll see
Okay.
that's
So
this
it's
is exactly what they were worried about.
So let's see. Vayomru na'arei hamelech mishartav yivakshu lemelech ne'arot betulot tovot mar'eh. Okay, so the kings, let's see. Na'arei, the lads, I guess, the youth of the kings said, mishartav yivakshu, let them serve. We let them being served.
Yeah, they're his servants.
The
Right.
servants, okay, requested of the king, I guess. Let's see. Na'arot, betolot, young virgins, I guess, that are good
Right.
in appearance. They're
Right.
beautiful.
So, because this is okay, this is now the beginning of Esther's rise to power. Now that Vashti's out of the way, so now we have to now bring Esther into the fore. So this is the strict description of how Vashti Esther is now going to be inaugurated as queen. Okay, I
Wow.
guess we'll go. I'm going to try and bring another document to you. With the medrash that we've been learning. We'll continue on with that. So Bez Hashem, I'll try and send that document out to you tomorrow, later today.
Oh, okay.
Okay, very good. Thank you, Mayor.
You're
Thank you,
welcome.
Roy. Thank you, Lou.
Thank
We all
you.
have a good day. We'll be starting our Mr. Bruce share shortly. And Roy, have a good afternoon. We'll see you hopefully tomorrow.
Amazing.
And as I said, we'll come back on soon with the share Mr. Roy help us forum.
Bye for now. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. See you all soon. Shalom.
Okay, very good.
Thank you, Mayor. Very good reading. Thank you.
Thank you.